right. Good morning. Good morning, my dogs. It's 6:31. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com and the founder of Red Dog Mindset. It is 6:31. It is Wednesday. It is CPI day. I hope everyone's feeling good. I'll tell you, I'm feeling good. Did my little 20-minute workout in the morning in my sauna. I did a little sweating. I was figuring out multiple plans in my head as the spies are in this upper range, the Qs are in this upper range. Will the CPI be market friendly? What stocks will I go to? Some things are working out really well. Some things have been avoids. It's been a tricky tape, but if you get your mind right and your routine strong, you know what? You can make the right decisions at the right time. If you guys have been watching the 630 Club since 2020 when I started this, where we have 5, 6, 7,000 people watching it, and you find value, what I would do is I would subscribe to that Red Dog Mindset button, considering how much value it's added throughout the course of the years, and get your mind in a position where you can even benefit it even more. Anyway, with that being said, got to get down to business. You have Europe's a little strong, Asia's stronger. Tepper came out talking about how he's doubling and triple down on China. And I'll tell you, my best trade's been Baba. I went over it with the Wolf on Spaces on how I've been rolling up options, and it's been working out pretty well. And as far as other names that we've been trading, like a Tesla pre and post election, you know what, we've been avoiding. We have our rules, right? 8 and 21 day. You're above the 8 and 21 day. You're long. You're below it. You're tactical. Anyway, with that being said, futures are down a little bit. CPI is at 830. Here's what the spies look like. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. You know, it feels like there's not a lot of vehicles that could break us out, but you know what? We'll see how it goes. By the way, I'm listening to a little Bob Marley radio. Anyway, what I think you should do in the mornings is when you're getting your charts done and you're getting ready, you know, and stop listening to the financial networks where people play traders on TV, listen to your music, get your 30, 40 charts, get your multiple plans, and situate your mind right. So anyway, we'll see how it goes today. You know, we've had two big gap downs in the last 4 weeks. One right here that got absorbed. Okay, another one that got absorbed. Actually, this was the first one. This is your second one. And now we're really, really tight. You know, if we're going to get back to 609 to 611 and have a sustained move, what do you have to get above first? 606.60. If we're going to break this area to the downside, what do we have to get below? 602.44. Kind of smack right in the middle of this range here. So write your levels down and act accordingly. We'll see how it goes. The Qs are tight also. Qs are real tight. You know, although it feels like the Mag 7 is lagging and a lot of names are rebuilding and not so special, except for like a Netflix which got a little tricky yesterday, you know, where a Meta, you know, it's like, what's going to sustain us to 539 or above? We'll see. You know, Apple changed a little bit with the Baba news. We'll see how that goes. You have 532 right here, 532, 539. If we're going to get to 539, what do you have to do? Get above and stay above 532. If we're going to break below, what do you have to get below? 525, and then you have this 522. So we'll see what happens here. Very tight, you know. So again, CPI day could either be a catalyst one way or another. If you're going to guess, or you're going to jump on, or you're going to, you know, let things situate, that's cool too. But anyway, this has been great. IWM, pain in the ass, excuse my French, but here you do. You have 224 as a spot. Remember when I tried to get above 230 and failed? Well, now you have 240. Anyway, so we're getting through earnings season. Earnings season, I think the consensus is it's been pretty good. You know, you do have your haves and your have-nots. I got to say, for those of you who have been watching from the 630 Club for, you know, I've been doing it for years, but starting from August 5th, this has been a stock that I've been trying to buy dips. I've been trying to play, and you know, hopefully you guys are with me. You know, if you're with me, I know the Alpha team's with me. If you know, Alpha team has watched us be on the virtual trading floor for multiple months, and here we are at 205. There you go, above the 199. You could have been a buyer after hours yesterday. Talk about being trading tactically, and there was your 199. I actually played this last night. I was sitting here. I was kind of in a bad mood yesterday. You know, some of the little stocks weren't great. Some things felt a little predatory, and then all of a sudden, Dash came out. It was down 6 or 7. I'm like, oh, another earnings situation. And then you read through and you read how strong, DoorDash is. You read how, you know, if you want to search something, you Google it. You want to blow your nose, you grab a Kleenex. You want to get food delivered, you DoorDash. But anyway, so it was a nice trade to go green. We were buying it at 194, 195, and then here's 199. And I've been showing you guys this weekly chart for a while now, this cup and handle pattern, talking about my target 225 to 250. Okay, well, right now, here we are, 205 above 199. If you've been trading this to the upside, congratulations. New names come, new leaders come. We talked about Reddit being a new leader. Palantir has been a great trade. So those three names have been absolutely fantastic for investors and traders. You have to change. If you've been sitting in Intel and you've been sitting in AMD because they were great 2-3 years ago, guess what? You're not serving your purpose. But anyway, with that being said, let's hope it holds up. I'd love to get paid on this call spread. We already got paid after hours. As far as Tesla, sorry guys, you had some clues. You had a lot of clues. I made a lot of money in this name also. When it gapped up above 275 and you were able to trade it versus that gap and it was above the 8-day, that was a great trade. That started a nice sequence. Then all of a sudden, you had the post-election when it seemed like, Elon will have the keys to the castle, and he did, and he still does. But I don't, some of the things that he's doing is raising some eyebrows. He's getting a few states and countries pissed. But anyway, I'm not going to judge whether he's saying was, there's a mandate in this country to cut down the debt, and they're trying to cut down the debt. But this is trading. All I know is from here, I remember buying right there when it actually went above a prior high, and then it broke above 360, and then here changed. Red dog reversal sell at 488, lower high at 465. Lost the moving averages right here on January 24th. This stock went, it's not actively acting well anymore. Get out of the way. Hopefully you got out of the way. I think I lost a decent amount of money that day. Get out of the way. And then right here was like my last try. This was February 4th. I was long this day thinking we were going to, maybe change and hold the 50-day. And then boom, that happened. Guess what? That was a bad day for me. Lost money, but it could have been a lot worse. I could have just said, hey, I'm buying Tesla because, Tesla was so great 3-4 months ago. And look at this move lower. My goodness. So the question is there a trade here? There might be. It's down 363. Yesterday, I tried to trade it in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes. I made a little bit of money, and obviously it would have been a lot better, if you were shorting it. And now it's off the lows of 320. Will it reclaim 325.10 or not? I'd like it to hold down here. So maybe I could get a nice clean trade where I have defined risk. As a trader, you want defined risk, but we'll see. Someone asked me, do I think Apple changed? I don't know. Apple, they tried to rally it post earnings and they sold it, right? They sold it. I remember being in the 630 club. I'm like 247 is resistance. So is 253. A lot of guys I knew were bearish. They shorted the hell out of it and made a ton of money. Then it got rejected again right here. And now it's got this inside wedge. Has a buyback, has a dividend. I think if people were going to sell it, they already sold it. So maybe it's something that could act better because there's really not that many mega cap tech names that are acting so great. Meta looks awesome. Meta, acted well pre-earnings, post-earnings. Looks like it's ready to take out 725. Meta has go-to status. Netflix, they kind of shook the tree a little bit yesterday. But what did it do? All it did is get to the 8-day. When you're extended from the 8-day, even in a strong trend, it's allowed to pull back to the 8-day where you could buy a dip. Anyway, let me see what my dogs are saying. I got 30 comments right here from YouTube and Twitter. Let's see how we're doing. We got Henry's talking about UPST. That was a good trade after hours. I actually traded after hours also. I didn't go with it. UPST, AFRM. Everybody wants to buy now and pay later. That's not probably good for the world and the economy moving forward. But if you're in the stocks, it's okay. Nugsy, how you doing? Nugsy, I think you subscribe to Red Dog Mindset. I've seen you in there. Are you working out in the morning? You doing the 20-5-20? Did you fast on Monday? Are you getting your process stronger? You bought it at 135. Okay, that's cool. Tem back above 79. I'll take a look. SMCI crushing both sides. Yeah, SMCI has been such a battleground. I just stayed away. I was lucky enough I've been able to make money in Nvidia the past week and a half. Top on Palantir. I don't think Apple went to the A+ list. Apple's in the B list. It went from the C list to the B list. What's been on the A list has been actually Baba. Baba's been fantastic. I started getting back involved in Baba right here. Okay, I didn't get in here. I wasn't perfect to here. This is when it took back the moving averages and held it. and I've been rolling up options since. And at this point, Bob is having a nice morning, right? What's Baba doing? Baba, I talked about how I think it can get to 117, 118, which is right here. That's the prior high. So what will I be doing? I'll be reducing my options into this, and I'll be saying thank you for Baba. It's been a great sequence. It's been a horrible trade for a year and a half or 2 years or whatever it is, but this has been a great active sequence. If you find a new active sequence that starts in an individual name and you approach it with a tier system and you massage it, that could change your week. It could change your month. It might even change your quarter or year. This has been absolutely unbelievable. Okay, and now I will be trimming into this. If you look at the weekly chart, sometimes you have to do that too. On the weekly chart, all it's back to is right to here to 117. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets to 150 over the next 3 months. So I'm going to try and stay with this. I'm going to reduce some. I was hoping for a pullback. I want to get more into earnings, but what I want, what the market's going to do, are two different things. Right now, though, this is getting into the upper end of this channel where you could get a pause. So this open is probably a better trim than buy. Doesn't mean it's a cute short. You always don't have to short something because you're selling it. Write that down. All right, then you go to the daily chart back. Some people are asking about the Palantir. Is it over? Is it over? Yeah, I've heard it's over since 20 bucks so many different times. Yesterday was a little red dog reversal. You know, a lot of stocks or the growth names went up, couldn't hold it. So if you had your sell rules, you know, you maybe made some money short, okay, as it got above the high, couldn't hold it. Look how extended it is from the 8-day. So to me, I just think it's a trade management. I would not be calling just a top. But again, you can call what you wanted. I'll call it a good trade for yesterday for those who made some money short. You know, a much better investment if you've been buying dips since $20 and $30. But it's all about your time frame. So now what? What's Palantir doing today? It's probably up, I would think. It's up $1. So if you want to fade this to go from green to red because it was weaker yesterday, I get it. If you think it's going to break below yesterday's low of whatever this is 112.10, then you know maybe there's two trades here today. Maybe you could short it to go from a Versa high to go from green to red, and then if you think it's going to break yesterday's low and you want to press it through, and pressing shorts has not been easy, then that's trade number 2. You know, sometimes you're just better off going with trade number 1 and thanking God, thank your process it happened. And sometimes, you know, you could short some strength and then trade it through here and then make more money or not. I don't love doing that trade, but there are some people out there that do. Doge will push Palantir higher. Okay, UPST did very well. You're right. I had a nice little after I was trading this too. Now what? UPST. Where is it? Let's see. UPST. Wow, up 18. So this level here is 86. So can it get above and stay above 86? That's your momentum level. You know, it's actually pretty cool to see that, you know, sometimes a group works, right? This was the last time it gapped up. Look at AFRM. AFRM gave some clues that, hey, you know, maybe this sector is getting better. You had a gap and go. You could have been a long versus it traded through a prior high area. So if you thought it was that easy to be in UPST, I guess it was that easy. Sometimes the obvious, you know, looks too obvious, but that's because you're a seasoned professional trader that knows what to look for. Not everyone knows what to look for. Not everyone knows when groups move together. Not everyone knows how to trade versus a pro earnings gap. Not everyone knows how to use a tier system or get up early. However, you know that if you've been following the Red Dog or some of the traders, you know, on, you know, on what's it called, on Twitter or wherever. That FTEL pump and dump officially died. That's funny. So I gotta say, you know, sometimes, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years, so I have a lot of friends everywhere. So he's saying that FTEL pump. When FTEL was at $30, there were guys that I knew that were short millions of dollars worth, and they were telling me that it's the biggest sham ever. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys didn't fall for it, because sometimes the chart looks awesome, and you're like, wow, this looks great. Let me buy it. And then all of a sudden goes to zero. Like, how'd that happen? So when I hear things from my friends that are credible, I just put it out there to you guys, just to add value, just to get a thought in your head that might make you money or might keep you safe. And that's what I want to do. I want to add value. You know, that's my mindset. That's the Red Dog mindset, adding value to everyone. And everyone does things differently. There are a lot of people that trade on the alpha team that trade for a living that are with me all day. There are some people that have read the report. That's just a note. There are some people that subscribe now, which you should do, to Red Dog Mindset to get all my weekend feed the brain type stuff, and my whiteboard Wednesdays, which will be a good education for or whiteboard weekends. Is that what I called it? That's yes. But anyway, so you want to see what FTEL looks like? Yeah. I was telling you guys that this is a sham here. I'm like, don't fall for it. And finally, it's back to $1. So if you made really good money there, congratulations. If I kept you safe, congratulations. I don't even know how these type of names exist. My the guys that I talk to are shorting the hell out of this. They think this is also going to be $1 stock, but I'm not telling you to short it. I'm just telling you don't fall for it. That this also is an international sham. There are shams out there, and then there are shams out there, and this is another one, DOGZ. So I would just avoid it, or maybe if you know how to short these things and you're good at it, maybe you can make a lot of money. There are a lot of people who are sending me cases of wine for FTEL. Anyway, you don't have to send me anything. Just have gratitude. Pick up a piece of garbage every day. There are guys who subscribe to Red Dog Mindset. I was in the sauna doing my work, and I said, hey, guys, if you want to change the world, guess how you could start doing it? Pick up one piece of garbage a day. I've been doing it for 4 years. It's very fun. Someone asked me about Microsoft. Microsoft's in the penalty box. Microsoft has a big hole in the chart. So it's kind of something that I haven't been trading for a while. It's been in a range. It topped out in July. Microsoft has not been a good trade for a long time now. It's in a rebuild stage. It happens. Someone asked me, is Amazon going to, be the same thing? Amazon, I feel like it's something, it's not on the D list. Like Microsoft's been on the D list. Google moved to the C list. Amazon is still on the B list. I think maybe Amazon gets a pass. I think maybe this turns into a better upper range where you could try and be long versus 228, and at some point it gets better and rebuilds and they forget about earnings. That's what I'm thinking. You have the future day traders and learning from your knowledge. I do. I try and have everyone learn. I've been doing this for a long time. Why not? But anyway, TEM. I had this the other day. A lot of people were a little upset how it got above 71 and a quarter, came back in. What's it doing this morning? I don't know. I am not in it. It's down 80 cents. Okay. No, not so bad. So I would watch it. It's a little loose and wide. A lot of people love this thing for the rest of the year. This is a new name. It's above the 8-day. It's been trending very nicely. So if you're in it, just make sure you know how to, approach it, because these things get to be loose and wide. So, but it is something. I remember when I brought Reddit to the table really early. I brought Reddit to the table to my institutional friends, and they're still kicking themselves in the culo. I brought this to them when I had it on as a power play down here. I'm like, hey guys, this is a new issue. This came public, kind of like what's it called, a dash when nobody was watching. Guys, do a deep dive. This thing looks really good. It's trading really well. Get involved. Talk to your institutions. Talk to whoever it is. Get involved. I played it pretty well. I could have done better here. And they're the ones who actually brought me Dash. And again, Dash, it's been an unbelievable trend. I think this Dash is going to be, it's gonna look at this cup and handle pattern. This came public in 2021. Here's 2000. It's just getting back to where it was here. So I would think this thing, it could be 275 to 3.25 this year. So if you missed the last few months, just start engaging and get comfortable with it. I remember when I showed you guys this. Look, this is when this cup and handle ignited. This was Reddit, and look how awesome it's been since. So anyway, sometimes you don't want to chase, but sometimes it's not too late. Trust the pump in Intel. There's no pump in Intel. What are you talking about? You guys got to learn the way you speak about things. It's the rally. No one, a pump is $1 stock that some idiots from China get paid stock to promote it, and they pump it up and they sell it to you, and then those guys should go to jail. Anyway, there's no pump in Intel. Anyway, with that being said, this is Nvidia. Nvidia looks a little bit better. Nvidia is something that we made some decent money last week. If you remember during the 630 club, I was like, look at the relative strength. I'm like, look at this fake out move. It got below 116, went below, reclaimed it. And then right around here is when it started to show some relative strength again. So right now, as long as it could hold 131, maybe there's another trade into this 135 to fill that gap. So there's something to be, someone in China is yelling at me. I didn't say all the Chinese stocks are pumping dumps. I'm just saying there tends to be a few scams that come out of there. Baba is not a scam. Baidu is not a scam. What's it called? What's the last one that I got? A PDD is looking pretty good also. This one I think has a, for earnings. I started buying it. I think there's some room up here. So I'm in PDD and Baba. Those are my two Chinese names for now. I should have had Baidu. You're right. I will say that, Bitcoin is a little faulty. If you remember how long this range went for, but look how, how to absorb a big move. So, Bitcoin's had a huge move. If you remember, for fun, I had the turkey trot. Remember me and Tommy doing the 5K to 85K? That was fun. We made a lot of money in iBit and made a lot of money, not a lot, but a decent amount of money in Mister. That's when we were talking about the wolf. And then the 100K, the Santa 100K, that happened. And now since then, we're just in a channel. You have to consolidate moves. You need new buyers. You need new institutions coming in, and there have been a bunch of them. So now we'll see. It's below the 21 days. So for me, I'm not in IBIT right now because it's not acting special. This is a momentum sector that acts awesome when there's momentum, when it plays by momentum rules. And right now, IBIT is choppy as hell. So why do you want to be in something that's choppy as hell? That could be vulnerable. But anyway, for today, it's up a little bit. So if you are in it, that's cool. 54.66, 53.69 needs to be your out. At some point, maybe it wakes up. At some point, it can get going again. But for now, it's just in a consolidation. There are times when you want to be all over a sector when it's strong, it's above the 21 day, and there's momentum, and you could buy a dip, add through a spot, sell into some strength, and massage it. And there are times you're like, hey, I got to be tactical here and just pick my spots carefully because right now we're doing some kind of market rebuild discovery phase. So with that said, listen, at 6:52, a lot could happen between now and 8:30. The CPI, is the measure of inflation. And to me, inflation, kind of got a little bump up in the last 3 months. So we'll see if that shows up in the numbers. If it shows up in the numbers, you have to be a little bit careful. If just in line, I think if it's just in line, the market's going to try and respond well because people think it's going to be hot. And again, in order to get to 608 or 609, it's got to get above and stay above 606.60. In order to get back to 600, it's got to get below 602. Have your levels and then react, when the time is right, and keep your mind strong. I'm going to be on my way to the city around 1 o'clock to see my friend Liz Clayman. I got the Clayman show. I go on twice a month, so it's cool. I get to talk about my thoughts with her, get it out to her subscribers. Not subscribers. She doesn't have subscribers. She has viewers. And, so I had to get my day organized. Get your day organized. Get yourself situated. Think clearly. Execute with confidence. Hey, and maybe you'll have some success. You don't need to be perfect. Just make some progress. I believe in you, my dogs. See you soon.